What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back with a bit of a striker transfer whisper video, man. I gotta say, it's been a couple interesting days. Obviously, we've got the build up towards the playoff final to come. At this point, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just still very excited to get there. The nerves haven't set in just yet. Maybe as we get closer, they'll come. But right now, I'm just excited to get to the game. Think of all the possibilities that if we do go up, and yeah, the other things don't bear thinking about right now. But listen, before I get into it, thank you to Neil, who's become a member of the channel. Much appreciated, Neil. Membership link is in the description if you want to join the channel that way. Just helps me out and helps out the channel too. And of course, if you haven't liked the video, and there is that. We're going to speak about Patrick Bamford, rumors of his future today, Josh Sargent, and who I think would just blows both of them out the water anyway. Relative to what we can sign, and I will make that clear because I think the message will be lost. And of course, I've just a little note on Brendan Aaronson and just him. So yeah, shout out to everyone that's in the live chat right now, and if you're watching on the playback, Kevin sent Aaronson to Rochdale on loan. Man, we'll have to cover most of those. We'll have to cover to most of those. But yeah, I mean, obviously, this is the main thing, isn't it? I think this is what's on everyone's mind right now, because by the things that we're talking about today, it won't matter if one of the two scenarios don't happen. So if we go up, then yes, it's a possibility. If not, probably not. So there's so much riding on this game for a lot of potential signings for the current squad, who stays, who goes. There's a lot riding on it. So yeah, listen, as we build up through the week, we'll speak about this game even more and just see how everyone's doing in regards to this game. But with these games, you have hope. You do have hope for these games, and that's all we have right now. And speaking of hope, Craig Hope of the Daily Mail, and it has been picked up by a few other people, have been speaking about the future of Patrick Bamford, as well as a few of our other players. But I think those go without saying when we talk about Somerville, Nanto, Jorginho, Archie Gray. We're seeing those names rinsed around the rumor mills all over the place, aren't we? But in regards to this one, this is the one that really piqued my interest over the weekend. Now, I could have gone live, and said, ooh, this is nice. But I thought I'd just wait a couple days and just, let the news just, settle in a bit and realize the possibility of it happening, And Daily Mail, I've had to just keep it to this one paragraph here because it's full of pop-ups, the paper. But talking about the club, blah, blah, blah. While the club will look to move on former England striker Patrick Bamford. And according to a few reports as well, that's whether we stay in the Championship or go up to the Prem. And that is music to my ears. That is music to my ears. And I won't get too excited until it actually happens. But the fact that it's even been floated about to me is great. That's a great start. And I think if you echo it enough, you get it out in the ether, you put out in the universe what you want and you attract it, all that stuff. Well, I'm putting it out there. And Patrick Bamford, Leeds United will be looking to move him on, whether we go up or stay in the Championship. And it's a smart move. I've often joked on here before, I feel like he's going to be here till he's 45 years old. But it looks like the 49ers do mean business. Looks like they're not taking in the majority passion merchants' opinion about Patrick Bamford. And they do realize that we need better up front, which is great. Happy birthday to future. Well, if you're not here, Lee, happy birthday for Sunday. Yeah, and hopefully we're celebrating something good. Yeah, Nida, and this was my thought when I was reading all the reports. Finally, a no-nonsense approach to Bamford, and it's just to everybody, isn't it? We've seen it through the season. We've had it already with when we've seen the reduction of play for Liam Cooper, Luke Ayling finally leaving, and Patrick Bamford, but he snuck back in, didn't he? We saw that he snuck back in, and it was one of those things that recurred again. It didn't matter how many quiet games he had. No matter what, he'll stay in the team. Whereas other people, they'll have quiet games and they get dropped. That stuff has got to stop, and it's not going to stop until he's left the club. So, and this is for the people that always say, well, who's going to take him on 70 grand a week? I've spoken about it too many times before. I'm not going to repeat myself. I feel like I'm just speaking to brick walls, but there are ways of getting around that. The player can have a bigger signing on fee, the club can contribute towards it or take a lesser transfer fee in order for the player to sign for his current wages at his future club. There are many ways to go around it. The one thing you have to think about though is Patrick Bamford, and is he going to want to move? He's very comfortable here. And I use that word very, very not even loosely. He's very comfortable. I don't know why he'd want to leave at this point unless the club make it very clear. And I've spoke about the dark arts of what clubs do to players. Make it very clear you have no future here. And if you don't leave, well, the last 2 years of your contract won't be pleasant. I don't see the club doing that, by the way. I'm just saying. But I think it's time that we take that approach with some of these players that are just far too comfortable and more importantly, not good enough. So this will be somebody, this is going to be a news item we'll keep an eye on over the summer. Hopefully it comes to fruition. And wherever he goes, best of luck to you, Patrick. Best of luck to you. Now, Will Fear saying that is probably why he's not playing, not wanting to get injured, knowing he's leaving. Will, it could be that. I mean, he's missed the last 3 seasons though, hasn't he? The first one, when Jesse Marsh was here, it was definitely because he thought he was going to get into the England team. Remember that? Remember all that chatter? Even though he missed most of the season and wasn't that good, he definitely thought he could still get a move to the Prem if we got relegated and continue his England dreams. The second one, I mean, he wasn't here towards the end of last season either. And again, he wasn't here towards the end of this season. So, regardless of whatever the reason is, that's just not good enough, is it? Well, it is for some of you, I know, but it's not good enough for me. We need somebody more dependable. Um, Nidar saying Bamford will likely accept lagging around for the rest of his contract. Why break the habit? Yeah. And the thing is, what I want to make clear on that, and I always make it clear, that's not on Patrick Bamford. You cannot slight him for accepting the money he's got and just, if he doesn't want to leave, not going. That's on the previous regime for giving him that stupid contract extension in the first place. So again, I wouldn't hold any ill will against him. But what the main thing for me is that the club seemingly actively doing it, which is it's beautiful. I will love it, and I think I deserve it. Yes. Now, yeah, he wasn't here at the start of the season as well. He was hurt at the start of the season, correct? Let's move on to somebody who's been rumored before with us. Yeah, he's been rumored before, and it feels like this is going to be the new Che Adams, the new Adam Lafondra. It just seems like it's going to be this way. Josh Sargent, who was linked with us before, I think when Jesse was here and the American Revolution, has been linked again. And I'm going to try and get an article up that hasn't got a lot of pop-ups. Let me just see. All right, and I'll just give you the most of it here, the main important things. There's several reports, in fact, that say that if Leeds United get past Southampton in the final, we will move for Josh Sargent. Bournemouth, Brentford, and Fulham are also keen of pursuing a deal for the American international this summer after City's playoff exit to Leeds last week. Any move for Sargent, and here's the bit as well. I mean, there's a lot that alarms me, but this is the bit. Any move for Sargent would be costly, given he extended his deal at Carrow Road until 2028 last summer. But his goal-scoring form for the Canaries has piqued the interest of several clubs. Leeds wanted Sargent last summer after Farker was appointed at Ellen Road, but that interest did not turn into anything substantial, with Norwich tying him down to a new long-term contract. I remember that because I was saying, thank God. I remember saying thank you because I don't rate him. Oh, spoiler alert, yeah. Let's have a look. Farker was City's head coach when Sargent moved from Werder Bremen in 2021 for a fee of 8 million, but the German boss was sacked just a few months into their spell together after a poor start to the Premier League season. Yeah, again, some foreshadowing. Hopefully, if we go up, there's none of that for Daniel Farker. Yeah, because I think he will be here, won't he? I think he will be here come the summer. But yeah, hopefully there's no poor start in the Prem. Otherwise, the fate will be the same. 49ers won't risk it, Daniel. I'm sure of it. Sargent has enjoyed the best season of goal scoring form in his entire career at Carrow Road this season, largely owing consistently operating as the number 9 as opposed to being used as a makeshift winger. 16 goals in 24 championship starts came in an injury disrupted campaign for the 24-year-old who was sidelined for 4 months with an ankle injury. Now, yeah, let me get off that. So, yeah, 24 And again, I think I've made my feelings pretty clear with Josh Sargent previously, people, because when we've done Norwich and Leeds previews, I've made it very clear that I've said, um, Josh Sargent at this level, and I always make that clear. I don't do that by an accident. I do it by design because I'm letting you know that at this level, I think this player is okay, and I haven't even got into say he's good at this level. His numbers here on the screen, they don't impress me at all. And I tell you why. The championship numbers, but he's played in a Norwich City team that has got a fair bit of creativity. Now, whether the manager stifled that style this season, that's a whole other conversation. But he's still played in a Norwich City team that has still got creative players in there. It's not like he's been in like a solid championship team where it's just meat and potatoes and no flair. He's got players with flair around him, and he's missed a large portion of the season. 16 goals is a decent return. 13 though, that don't impress me. And then when you go down to that year in the Prem, and I think everyone remembers this, 26 matches, 2 goals. Yeah, sorry, not for me. And I know, and the cost as well. I think I saw something saying 15 to 20. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wilf with the super chat. Do you think he's good enough for the Premier League? I don't. I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League. And you know what? If he is, Wilf, I hope somebody else takes a shot on him. We're seeing Che Adams at the moment being linked with a move to Wolves. You look at Wolves' record in signing strikers, very hit and miss, more misses as well. And listen, I hope Wolves go for Che Adams and they can see if it works out for you. But I always go with questions like this and just to see if you can go from this point. Yes, I've just answered Wilford. Thank you for the super chat. Do you see Josh Sargent in the Premier League? Think about the levels as well. You're going up 10 decibels a level, 10 times the level of championship. Do you see Josh Sargent getting 10 league goals? 10. And I'm going for the absolute bare minimum there of a striker. And I mean bare minimum. Please let me make that clear. Do you even see him getting 10 goals in the Prem? I don't. I don't see it one. I don't see it one bit. Another thing that is cause for concern is this, and I think this is really concerning. His injury history. Here we are. It's not even that he's had a few injuries. Players have injuries all the time. It's the fact that it's been ankle problems. We've got 3 separate issues of ankle problems in the last 3-4 years. No, thank you. And seeing some of the Norwich fans' comments as well. He hasn't been the same since his ankle injury. Another one said he hasn't been the same since the surgery. He's lost the step. Okay, do we really need that, people? Seriously, I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, Dominic. Yeah, I mean, look, Dominic saying Paddy doesn't get 10 goals in the Prem. Yeah, that's facts. I mean, look, and this is what we're replacing. And the thing is as well, people, it's not just replacing, you have to get better. So even if I'm looking at Patrick, this is Patrick Bamford's numbers that I haven't shared on the screen. Here they are. Here they are, people. This was his Premier League, obviously the pandemic year where there was no fans, 17. And then you look, 2 in 9, no availability, 4 in 28. Bro. The year we went up with in that Bielsa team where we created about 60 chances a game, 16 league goals. The year before where he was sharing with Kemar Roof, I love that interchange. That was pretty good. But yeah, 9 goals then. More importantly, though, people, this season, and he's had a large portion of playing games, 8 goals in 33. And there are substitute appearances, which I've pointed out before, where he's had 6 minutes. So it's hard to count those. But overall, you can see he's not going to all of a sudden jump back up and get you 17 league goals again, which is what I said 4 years ago. But hey, is what it is. But Josh Sargent, again, going back to him, how does this not like all I see is red flags. I don't know about anybody else. I just see red flags when it comes to Josh Sargent. But the thing is, I always say this: if Daniel Farke is looking for familiarity or players that he feels he can trust, that's another conversation because that means the 49ers do have to back him, but you have to make sure that it works. I don't think it will work, but if Daniel Farker is here, which I believe he will be, you have to make sure this works because as they said, it's not going to be cheap. You're probably looking at a lot of money that could easily go on better, and it's not hard to find better people. It really isn't. Um, yeah, it's Gavin here saying if we make it to the Prem, we need to add quality to make sure we stay there this time. Exactly. Yeah. I look at it another way. I gave you the 10 goals thing. If you feel that you can see him scoring 10 goals in the Prem, if this was under Jesse Marsh still and Victor Orta, this signing or potential signing would be absolutely getting caned by everybody. You know what I mean? It would be getting absolutely hammered. So I'll make my feelings clear. No, absolutely not. Benny here saying at least Peru can become better. Yeah, I mean there is stylistic changes when it comes to the Premier League, and the thing is with Joel Peru, if Daniel Farr could trust him, which we'll speak about this week, if even if Bamford declares himself fit, if Farr could trust him for the playoff final and we go up, I do see that as an avenue of Joel Peru staying because I've had this feeling for the past couple months that Joel Peru is going to leave come the summer because through various options or reasons, I should say, Danny Farr not trusting him. The fans always on his back anytime he misses or misplaces a pass. His teammates starting to get on him towards the end of the season, although it was tense for everybody. So we can, probably put a line under that one. But you never know. If he gets that start in the playoff final, that could be a real good olive branch for him to have an even better year next season. You never know. He's had a down year this season. He scored 20 plus the last two. He's got 13, 14 this season. He's had a down year in comparison to his previous years. Leeds easily saying Peru's young and will only get better. I hope so. But what I'm saying on this though, people, is even if we turfed out all of these guys, you do have to get better. You know what I mean? There can't be any sentiment involved. But I'm willing to see if Joel Peru can handle it at the Prem level. The only other thing as well that I'd say in regards to just Sargent, yeah, is that if I'm Mateo Joseph and I see Josh Sargent coming through the door, I'm out of here. And again, if you're asking me, will I risk Mateo Joseph's future for just Sargent? Nah, mate, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. Say how many times you want, twice on Sundays, no chance. So yeah, Mateo Joseph's progress at this football club, if he is to have a future here, cannot be blocked by the likes of Just Sargent. Now, I've got an alternative that I listen. And let me make this clear. If I had the choice, I would get Mbappe on a free transfer. Yeah. I would go get Benjamin Sesko. I would do all of that. But we need to work in the parameters that I believe we'll be working in. And if 49ers come in the summer and absolutely blow us out the water with their ambition, then awesome. Okay. Awesome. What I would say is I have a better alternative here. And that is Mr. Ben Brereton Diaz. 25 years old, just a year older than Sargent. But what Ben Brereton Diaz does, and the reason why I'm going for Diaz in this mold, he isn't my main number one, let me make that clear. But the reason why I'm going for him in this mold is because I think Farker's looking for that forward striker that can play across the three, be the focal point at times, but will move defenders, will do all that pressing and malarkey. And Ben Brereton Diaz does that for you. And he has a brilliant eye for goal. And as well, when it comes to his future at Villarreal, I can tell you for a fact he wants to stay in the Prem after his little stint with Sheffield United. So I don't know how much this deal would be, but I would probably bet it's going to be less than just Sargent. Now, if you were unconvinced, that's fair, that's fine. But what I would say is, does this convince you? This is Bembra and Diaz in possibly the worst side in Premier League history, along with Derby, and he managed to get 6 goals in the Prem, people, for Sheffield United, who conceded 104 goals. So you realize what he was working with there. I've always thought with Bembra and Diaz is I liked him at Blackburn. I thought, okay, let me see what he can do. And he started off well in Villarreal, but then their coach got sacked. and that just spelled the end of his future there at this point in time. And he enjoyed the Premier League and he liked it. And you can imagine there's going to be other Premier League clubs coming in for him as well. They're going to be thinking the exact same thing. Bloody hell, if he can score 6 goals in that Sheffield United team, imagine what he could do for us. And I just think of him with Somerville, Nanto, Jorginho. I like the movement already. I can feel the movement already. Pause. I can feel it. I can see it. And he's more of a fox in the box than he's given credit for as well. Can hit them from all kinds of angles. I think it would be a good one. I do. He's quick as well. Very, very quick. Let me see. Yeah, Matt C saying impressive stats rise by that. Yeah, it wasn't just that as well. When you actually watch him in the games, when Sheffield United actually had a touch of the ball, you could see he was their main threat. He was just dangerous for him, absolutely dangerous. And you just think if he goes to a team with a better supporting cast, I go back to my original questions. Can I see Ben Burton Diaz getting 10 goals in the Prem next season? 100%. 100%. Let's have a look. Dominic Martin say, not convinced by Joao Perot either. That Luton number 9 looks good in the Prem. Oh, no, not Carlton Morris. Nah, man. Fair, fair. Burton Diaz is a good shout from you, though, KG. Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, no. Matt's, yeah, Ali McBurt. Nah. Oh, let's hope not. Let's hope not. I do like I like his personality, but yeah, no, not for me. Ryan saying Jonathan David, I won't stop saying it. Yeah, I mean, listen, Ryan and everyone else, if we were talking like we were still in the Prem and didn't get relegated, then there's names that we could have easily attracted. But these names as well that are probably on the tier above that I mentioned in the summer, they're not unattainable. It's all about what your management sells to this player as a project. You see, Nottingham Forest, their first year up, they got Navas on loan in goal. That's the first year. It's the Premier League. It's a huge, huge draw. And of course, being Leeds United, of course, we can get players along that ilk, of that ilk, I would say. Nidar saying we could do with a creative midfielder to find this new striker, whoever it is. Yeah, I mean, that's another, conversation for another day. This is more talking strikers, aren't we? So Benny saying, agree, KG Diaz is a nailed on transfer. I don't know about nailed on, but I don't know, man. I've always seen him. I can always see him playing for Leeds. He's one of those for me that I see playing for Leeds. Mr. Ripper saying, what do you think of McLean? No, absolutely not. What for? Like Keddy McLean. I didn't like, again, Ripper, we heard this rumor last summer and it did nothing for me then. I'm certainly not going to think any more of it a year later with him being a year older. Absolutely not. No. Oh, not Morris. Yeah. What's his name? Oh my days. I've forgotten. Let me see. Because this will bug me. I know who you're talking about now. Tall lad, isn't it? He's tall. Adebayo. It's Adebayo, isn't it? Yeah. Adebayo. Bongo. Tremendous. Yeah, Adebayo. Yeah. Some of you mentioning latte. I'm assuming though, is that from just the games that we played against Middlesbrough and he looked good? Is that it? I mean, he did all right this season. In all fairness, I don't know. Let's go to him. Let me have a look at the latte. Always like that name though. Gets me thirsty still. Let's look at him together. Yeah, Manuel Latte laugh. Let's call him Latte, man. I prefer that. I prefer the coffee name. Yeah, 16 goals in 30. Yeah, he was good for them this year, to be fair. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think he has. I think he did hit double figures, Ryan. I think you're correct. Oh man, Ted, dad jokes incoming. Latte laugh, nickname Starbucks. Boom. Yeah, and that's another thing, Benny. His tech is good. Diaz has got good tech. That's what I'm saying. It just makes so much sense. David, let's do it, man. He's still free. I don't think the deal's been signed with Madrid yet, David. I think you might come. What was he on at PSG? So 600,000 plus royalties. plus stakes in the league earned profits or whatever it was. What do you say to 30 grand a week, Killian? Can we entice you with that? You know, hey, but listen, I hear you. I hear you. Paul, Mo Salah, now that Klopp has gone. Hey, Mo Salah. I like Mo Salah as a goal scorer, but I saw him many times this season, man. Or his legs look like they may have gone, but I don't doubt him as a goal scorer though. He's good. He's good. We're paying peanuts. I think he might just go and want to. Why wouldn't he want to play for Leeds, as people would say? Oh man. Oh Martin, the dad jokes have rolled. Come on, guys, just keep them rolling in. If we get Latte, could we also get Costa back? Ba-dum. Matt C. Oh Lord, Matt C. I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. If it's not Che Adams, it's this. Chris Wood has been good this year. Bring him home. Home, Matt. I think that's being very generous. Yeah, the first opportunity of Premier League football, he dipped. No, but no, in all fairness to Chris Wood, he has been good. He has been good overall. Slipped away towards the end of the season, barring the last game of the season. He came through for Forest then. But you know, when I was watching a few of those games, some of the chances he was missing, it's like But yes, yeah, I think Chris Wood once again in his Premier League career hit over double digits. So you can't turn your nose up at that. But I don't see Forest wanting to sell him. More importantly, Matsy, I think he's a big part of their future. And as well with Chris Wood, he's moved around a bit. If Forest don't want to sell him, I can't see him wanting to go. So no to Chris Wood. I'm thinking more of a more mobile striker in the form of someone that gets across, who can get across the forward line and be a potent, source of goals up front. Chris Wood isn't mobile at all, and he's never been quick. Even when he was with us, he wasn't the fastest. So no. Um, yeah, Mr. Ripper, exactly. He's not a young guy, man. I get the profile of the player. I do understand that with McLean, but what are we going to do with McLean at 32 years old in the Prem? This for me would just be like having Adam Forshaw again. I mean, there's just no point. Although McLean does get, at least gets tackles in the game. No, we need to be better. We need to be better. So yeah, there we go. So there you are. That's my suggestion. Let me know in the comments if you have any better, but it has to be along those lines. Obviously, we can name the better strikers that are out there, but I'm looking along that line of if Sargent there, Diaz. I like that one. So what is next? What is next? Okay, Brendan Aaronson. Let me just get rid of some of these tabs, please. Come on, let's get this out of here. Right, Union Berlin, where Brendan Aaronson was on loan. He is returned now to Leeds United, people. He is officially back, but I still don't think that this is any way, shape, or form him being back permanently. Maybe Leeds and Union Berlin try and work something out in the summer, although I think it's very, very unlikely. But I think Leeds United will still be moving Brendan Aaronson on. This was the thing when you dig into this article. Check this out. Want to hear about some numbers? American Wonder Kid on loan. Listen, Wonder Kid. That phrase is being used very loosely these days. But like great player, everyone's a great player these days. Wonder Kid, yeah. Right. Brendan Aaronson joined Union Berlin on loan from relegated Premier League Leeds United. Why we got to be all that? They have to put all that in the last summer transfer window, winning the hearts of Union fans with his dashing style of play, his speed, and not to forget his decisive goal against Hoffenheim. Now, here's the bit though. After 38 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists, his time in Berlin has come to an end and is returning to England. Now, bro, 2 goals, 2 assists. Oi, oi. Listen, Americans usually prosper in the Bundesliga. There's been a history of it. This guy must have missed the memo. Yeah. I don't know what Leeds United are going to do, but they're going to have to, I don't think Union Berlin touch him on a permanent deal. Don't see it. So now they're going to, Freddie Adu. Yeah, he was the wonder kid, isn't it? Freddie Adu. Also, Mads Jorgensen, for those that remember that one. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, it's correct. 2 goals, 2 assists, bro. In the Bundesliga, where the high lines are there for days and days. Nah, listen. It's time for him to move on. I think we know that. It's just going to be very interesting for me to see where he actually ends up. I don't care where he ends up, just saying that, but it's going to be interesting to see who takes a punt on him, because I make all these jokes. Do still think he has a bit of currency left in his name. I still think he's young enough to attract another club to say, you know what, we can get the best out of him. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on. But yeah, I wouldn't be scared that he's returned to Leeds. I think Leeds are already actively trying to sell him, which they should. Doctor Doctor Cox saying send him to Sevilla with order. He can buy his mistake back. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it, James? Do we even get back close to the 25? I highly doubt it, people. When he's had the years that he's had over the past couple, to get 25, if the 49ers can do that, they are the best negotiators on the planet. You know what I mean? They would have done their jobs and then some. I think we're going to have to accept a loss. How severe that loss is, I don't know. But all I know is that I don't want to see him play football at this club again, especially if we go to the Premier League. That's an absolute no no. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Ryan. Oh, Ryan, Oxford should take a chance. Newly promoted. Just want to say this. I don't know if anyone else has taken notice of this. The two playoff final so far, the teams that have won is very ominous. The two teams that have won did not beat their opponents during the regular season. Eh? Upstepped Leeds United. Haven't beaten Southampton this season. Will we follow the script, or will we be Leedsy? It's going to be interesting, won't it? Uh, Chris saying, can he legally play Sunday? No, he can't. No, I think he's been returned, but his registration is until, I think it's until the end of May or June. I don't know, but no, he won't be here. Um, Revenite saying you will break the script. You're just bad-minded, Revenite, because you want Somerville on the cheap. That's all it is. You want Somerville on the cheap. That's why you're hoping we stay down here. That's tremendous, though. I appreciate that hate. Matt C saying our PR team need to get a video together, his highlights, lots of angle of his goal against Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, God, what did he do after that? What did he do after that? But yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, anytime he does a little pirouette on the ball before getting nudged over, then yeah, stick it all in a highlight package, man. Put it on YouTube, and we're good to go. Um, and yeah, people, Nige D saying KG Leeds will change that playoff trend. We better not, you know. We better not, Reverend. I know your game. There's no shame in your game. I understand it, man. I understand, you know. Yeah, Paul Bolton beat Oxford 5-0 in the league. Weird. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The regular season results they have zero bearing on the final. So if Southampton do beat us again, it's not like, well, they beat us twice. Of course, they were going to beat us a third time. Absolutely not. You know, Oxford, absolutely. Bolton got scared. I'll tell you this: Bolton are obviously a bigger team than Oxford, and they had the better players overall, except for Josh Murphy, who's at Oxford. You could see he was the difference maker, but you could see Bolton froze. There were so many times in that game where Bolton were just standing still. They had the ball and they didn't know what to do with it. They froze on the big stage, and that can happen to anybody. What I'm hoping though is that Somerville will be our Josh Murphy and just come through, put the game to bed, and we can all, look forward to Premier League football. But yeah, I just thought it was very interesting. I watched that Oxford one, didn't watch too much of the Crawley Crew one. But yeah, it's very interesting to see those results happen the way they did after their regular season escapades. Lewis, Aaronson could do a job. Doing what? Fetching the water, cleaning the boots. You take your pick. Revenant. You see how these Premier League vultures, especially in that top six, carry on. Can you see this, people? How much for Somerville Archie Gray convo transfer? The shamelessness, huh? The shamelessness. Um, Oh man, yeah, Lewis, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. It's okay. I can play the game too. I can play the game too. But yeah, listen, that is it, people. That is it for the show. I've given all the news, rumors. We're obviously going to build up to the playoff final as the week goes on. Just as I asked now, how is everyone? There's over 200 people here. How is everyone feeling ahead of the playoff final at this point in time? Obviously, your feelings are going to change as we get closer. How are you feeling as we head towards the game against Southampton? Uh, I mean, I don't think Raheem Sterling's coming here either. Yeah. Ripper saying confident. Yeah. Yeah. Not David though, not great. Slow, steady Steve is very confident. Hey, Gavin is saying it's too early. I'm with you there, Gavin. I feel it's too early for me as well. I don't think the nerves are gonna kick in. Probably until we see Danny Farker speak, maybe. Maybe that's when it will kick in. Or when I see more coverage on TV. Paul's nervous, apprehensive. I hear it. I hear it. SSJW depends which leads show up. If the second leg of leads show up, then we win. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're not going to know that till the game starts. Um, let's go. Worried. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen. Whoa, my, no, that's a big shout. If we don't score in the first 10 minutes, we will lose. That's an incredible shout. Well, what if we score on the 12th minute, Martin? Do we lose then? Yeah. Eh. No nails left already, David. Jesus. Yeah, man. Wow. Extremely nervous. Graham saying we are going up. And Dominic very nervous. Yeah, listen, looks like it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. And I understand that. But yeah, listen, people, that is it for the show. It's been a pleasure. You guys have been brilliant in the chat. If you haven't already, please like the video, share the video around, and turn on the notification bell as well, just so you know when I'm going live and you can join me in these chats. It's been brilliant, people. Have a good evening. Hope you're feeling good, smelling good. See you in the next one, people. Peace out.